Good day, everyone. I am Matt Simon Arbistondo, a BS English 2E student. Today, I will be discussing about formats or styles of a business letter. Nowadays, communicating entails sending an email, typing a text message, or connecting on social media. Writing a proper business letter and ensuring that the business letter format is correct may seem archaic, but it is more important than ever for small business owners. Based on a certain letter format, you may position the parts of your letter in the following ways. The first one is the full block style. Full block format is considered the most formal of the three styles. In full block format or style, every line is left justified. The date line is placed 2 to 6 line spaces below the last line of the heading or letterhead. The inside address placement varies depending upon the length of the letter. A common spacing is 4 line spaces below the date line. The salutation is placed 2 lines below the attention line, if an attention line is provided. The first line of the body is placed 2 lines below an attention line or 2 to 4 lines below the last line inside address line. When using full block, paragraphs are single-spaced, with a double space between paragraphs. So here is the format of full block style, and here is the example of a letter in full block style. The second one is modified block style. Modified block differs from block style in that the date, sign-off, and signature lines begin at the center point of the page line. The beginning of each paragraph is indented 5 spaces, along with the subject line, if used. Depending on the length of the letter, paragraphs may be separated by a single or double line space. Here is the format of modified block style, and here is the example of a letter in modified block format. The next one is the semi-block style. Semi-block style is frequently called modified semi-block because it is a slightly less formal modification of full block format. This letter places the date line in alignment with, or slightly to the right of dead center. Another option for placing the date line in semi-block is flush right. Similar to full block, semi-block places the inside address, salutation, and any end notations flush with the left margin. However, unlike full block, each body paragraph of semi-block is indented 5 spaces. The complementary close and signature block are aligned under the date. Here is the format of semi-block style, and here is the example of semi-block style. Let's proceed to indented or traditional style. Indented style is somewhat more complicated than other popular styles of business writing. In indented style, new paragraphs in a piece of writing are indented, that is, they begin about 1.5 centimeters to the right of the left margin. Other parts of a business letter are moved farther to the right half of the page. Indented style is one of the older formats for business writing currently in use, though other formats are becoming more popular. Indented style is a format that many of today's business people were trained to use. Here is the format of indented or traditional style. And here is the example of a letter in indented style. And now, let's have the hanging style. A hanging indented letter style is when a paragraph is indented so that the first line hangs over the rest. Normally, you would see a first line indent. This is when the first line is moved to the right and the rest of the paragraph starts at the margin. The most commonplace hanging indents are used is on a bibliography reference page. When typing, you can change the indentation by either formatting the paragraph or changing the page margins. And here is the format of hanging style. And here is the example of a letter in hanging style. The last one is the memorandum style. Memorandum letter style is typically informal, but still all business and public. Memos typically make announcements, discuss procedures, report on company activities, and disseminate employee information. All memos are structured similarly. They have the following elements: an addressee, flush left, in capital letters, near the top of the page. The sender, flush left, in caps, immediately below the addressee. Date, flush left, in caps, immediately below the sender's name. Subject, flush left, in caps, immediately below the date. And here is the format of memorandum style, and here is an example of a properly structured memo. Among the 6 formats or styles of a business letter being discussed, the first 3 styles, which are the full black, modified black, and semi-black, are the modern forms of business letters. Among the 3, the full black is the most widely used form because its layout is easy to make. And now, let's talk about margin, indentation, and spacing of a letter. Most typewritten letters are single-spaced, except for double spacing between the parts and the paragraphs. Many businessmen, however, think that the indentation makes the paragraph division clearer and prefer to have all paragraphs indented for about an inch. The typist, when using regular business stationery, leaves a margin of an inch and a half on the right and on the left. The spacing of a letter parts depends on the size of the letter. If the letter is short, has up to 125 words, 8 spaces. A medium-sized letter, 125 to 225 words, 6 spaces. And a long letter, 225 or more, 2 spaces. And now, let's have the folding and envelope of a letter. Likewise, consider the letter envelope and the folding of the letter before you put it inside the envelope. The folding of the paper must allow a 4 cm top edge of the paper to protrude or stick out to make unfolding of the paper faster and easier. To add distinction to correspondence, use paper, ink, and an envelope of good quality. That's all for my discussion. Thank you for listening.